These meme coins on Solana are setting up to explode. Let me explain. When it comes to meme coins, dogs have been leading the way and they tend to come in packs. So clearly, every dog has its day. But when are cats gonna catch up? It's finally the cats, the felines' turn to catch up and eat their canines counterparts. So in today's show, I'm going to explain to you why I think this is the case. In past shows, I have explained why I believe this cycle is going to be a meme super cycle and how all of these roads lead to Solana. As I've given you a little preview of, I'm going to explain why I believe that cats are going to be leading the way on Solana. So stay tuned until the very end where I share some of my favorites and why I believe that they're going to be running very, very soon. That said, my name is Jessica. Please like and subscribe if this information is interesting to you, and let us jump into it. Starting off with Bitcoin, as we always do, we have been crushing it, guys. At the time of this video, it's pretty much new all-time highs at $94,000. Unbelievable. It's incredible. Many know and believe, as I will share also in this video, that if we can hit $100,000, we are going to fly from there. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're buckled in. I hope you have your positions in. And if you don't worry. Welcome to my channel. This is where I am focused to helping you make as much money as possible this bull run. Institutional money is investing into Bitcoin, and what their attitude is. We can see here that as of yesterday, we know that we ended the day extremely. We're looking at some of the highest purchases across the biggest institutional funds. We also see that Ethereum's ETFs have been experiencing a substantial shift over the past 2 weeks that Ollie shared. You can see that at the end of the chart here, starting November 4th, you can see how the chart just spikes up. You don't have to know how to read charts very well, but you can look at this chart and see how it's gone up like quite dramatically. And it's incredible because as we read on the screen, it says we have seen an accumulative or total net inflow now standing over $147 million into the US spot net flows for Ethereum. So we're seeing it in Bitcoin. Now we're seeing it in Ethereum. And we know that's the order of events in which this parabolic phase of the bull run unfolds. It's always mass volume and accumulation into Bitcoin. Then some of it spills over into Ethereum. And this time we're seeing it even be reflected on an institutional level, that now we have Grayscale, which is one of the biggest institutional funds. They are now also going to be offering Bitcoin ETF options, which is different than Bitcoin ETF spot, right? Where you just outright buy it. Now, Grayscale is going to be offering Bitcoin ETF options, which are like insurance policies. It allows investors to hedge or protect themselves against Bitcoin going up too fast or down. So it's a whole new category of investing. So this is going to be happening tomorrow, November 21st. So you want to make sure that you tune into my channel because I've committed to make these videos for you every single day so that you have your finger on the market's pulse. You know what's happening, what's going down, and you know how to inform your investment decisions. Back to what we're seeing on the screen, we see that Grayscale is not going to be offering, right, this Bitcoin ETF options trading. That's in light of yesterday's news. If you saw my yesterday's video, which is still very much so relevant for you because they're all stacking on each other and they all paint a picture of what's going on for you. But if you saw yesterday's video, you would know that BlackRock actually offered Bitcoin's ETF options trading yesterday. That went live. And on the screen, you can see with the results of this new form of investment option, how much it brought in. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF options traded 1.9 billion, not million, billion in notional exposure after launching today. You can see that BlackRock, they generated 73,000 options contracts in the first 16 minutes of trading. Not going away anytime soon. If anything, it's like dominoes, one falling after the other. That's what we see going on in the world and in the market at large. And observing how this bull run is comparing to past bull runs. Okay, so if you look at what I'm seeing on the screen here, you would see like 4 squiggly lines, right, in different colors. And what each of these represent is a different cycle. So not just bull market market cycle, but peak to peak represents, like, each side of the peak represents the beginning of a bull run to the beginning of the next bull run, and what the bear market pattern looks like in between. And you can see how each bull run, they basically are copying the same path, right? Like the squiggly lines look a little bit different, but pretty much they look very, very similar. And where we are right now, the green squiggly line, if all is to play out in a very, very similar pattern, then we are very likely looking at hitting $150,000 within the next few days. And if you look at the chart, we are the black squiggly line, and the other two colors are the past bull runs. He says Bitcoin is mirroring the behavior of the past two bull cycles. After surpassing its previous all-time high, Bitcoin has been consolidating for a week. If history repeats, we could see another breakout in the next 2 days, targeting $150,000, followed by a 30% correction. Skyrocketing in the next few days, followed by a correction, which doesn't mean crash, so don't freak out, but it does mean correction, which once again happens. This is not financial advice. Don't long anything that you're not willing to lose. Do you understand how early you still are? Because I know I've heard from some of you, and I hear it just in general from many people concerned that, you know, Bitcoin's too expensive now. Did I miss the boat? Statements like that. And this tweet is for you if you've been thinking about these things. And Plan C here outlines, he presents a chart in two lists, right? On the one hand, one side of the list, you see, he says company names. So like just a bunch of all the top 10. I think it's like the top 100 companies. On the other side of this chart, to zoom in for you, are the top 100 countries. And then this is regarding the companies, right? It says top 100 companies. So they have a market cap of $46 trillion, but only 1 out of 100 hold any Bitcoin. The total held from in all of the 100 top companies is only 11,509 Bitcoin. That's not very much. That's 1% of them. That's why I've said before, if you're here, you're one of the top 1% of the world. On the other side of this spreadsheet, we have the top 100 countries with a total combined GDP, or gross domestic produce, of $101 trillion. But only 6 of these 100 countries hold any Bitcoin, with a total held of 511,733 Bitcoin. So it still sounds like a lot more, but it's only 6% of all the countries of the world hold some Bitcoin. So if you're here, you probably hold some Bitcoin. And if you do, I just want this to sink in, and I don't want you to feel bad, and I don't want you to feel like you missed the boat, or, oh, you don't have as much Bitcoin because you keep hearing of these huge whales that buy Bitcoin, you know, or you hear of your friend that bought it at $100 or bought it at $1,000. Okay, if you are here, you're so early, you should feel so proud of yourself. So congratulations. If you're here, you're doing good. This leads in to why Bitcoin is very likely to definitely break out from $100,000. I think we're going to do that. It could be done overnight. It could be within the next day. And once we do, we're looking at the run-up parabolic stage of this cycle, which leads me into what I want to share at the end of this video. So please hang tight if you're still here, because I'm going to share, which is known to be one of the biggest ways to make money as fast as possible, bull run. This is Michael Saylor to present to the Microsoft board next month on buying Bitcoin for their corporate treasury. All of that, keeping in mind, holds $78 billion in cash. Now, they're not dumb, right? They know that the US dollar has been losing like minimally 25% of its purchasing power a year, I believe is the stat. So they need to move it into something, because Microsoft is publicly held, public company, meaning it has shareholders, meaning its responsibility is to make its shareholders money outside of just the products and services and solutions that Microsoft sells. And MicroStrategy, led by Michael Saylor, is renowned first pioneer in the world, demonstrating how you can use your company's balance sheet, your company's existing money, to borrow and buy more Bitcoin, and then collateralize that Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. And so now he's teaching people how to do it. So can you imagine how much Bitcoin will go up in value once, say, even 1% of this $1 billion goes goes into Bitcoin, or say 50% of this $78 billion goes into Bitcoin, can you imagine what's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? Everyone's going to freak out. Everyone's going to be like, it's time to buy Bitcoin now. And then everyone's going to buy, and it's going to just fly, right? And then the small guys, people, or I'm not going to speak, in a demeaning way, because people need to pay bills, buy cars, and people have PTSD from last bull run, and they're just going to take profits now. So we are going to see a correction. It may not be up to 30% because history only rhymes, doesn't repeat itself. So it may not be as sharp as 30%, but I think like a 10%, up to 30% is possible, right? But at that point, I don't want you to freak out. I want you just to see it as an opportunity to buy some more Bitcoin. That's it. But that's incoming. This is like new incoming demand for Bitcoin. And some exciting news to share with you to validate what I'm explaining right now. Bitcoin is now worth more than JP Morgan, Visa, and MasterCard combined. Just let that sink in for a second. These are the world's biggest banks that I'm talking about, and the world's biggest payment processor. Bitcoin is now worth more than all of them combined. So if you don't believe in Bitcoin by now, or your family is laughing at you, take a picture of this screen and send it to them. Send it to all your friends. Everyone that you care for, everyone that you want to help them change their finances because they're stressed out about money, or they have kids, or they have parents, or whatever it might be, and tell them, this is why I need you to invest in Bitcoin, or start listening to my channel, Crypto by Jess, because I do my very best to explain it in a way that someone who's relatively new and can follow. Some words of wisdom and regret. Shared this snippet, just this clip of the video, because keep in mind, this is a billionaire.
For you personally. Honestly, what I think about? I actually think about all the Bitcoin I sold.
Yeah,
I had Bitcoin. I had a bunch of Bitcoin in my funds when I managed outside capital.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill, okay? We are entering a completely world of uncharted water right now.
Have you made any investments in Bitcoin?
So, I own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account. It is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge, huge deal.
That's a $3 or $4 billion mistake and growing now, because my partners at the time capitulated and I wanted to be a good team member, and we distributed and it was profitable, but obviously I shouldn't have sold it. Would have made them a lot more money.
For you personally.
Honestly, what I think about it.
So you heard it from him, right? And then this is from Altcoin Daily, right? And then here you see Michael Saylor commenting on this video, and he says, do not sell your Bitcoin. So words from the wisest, if even top billionaires regret selling their Bitcoin and explain Bitcoin the way Chamath just did as a total game changer and comparable to the red pill from the Matrix. Can just let that sink in and just feel validated and excited if you hold some Bitcoin, and just excited for the days we're about to live, guys, because we're making history. It's happening right before our very eyes. At the moment, profits are being realized in the market, right? Active selling is occurring. So people are selling. That's why the market is chopped, right? But they are being absorbed steadily. Have you not noticed? Even when we drop down to 91,000, it's boom, back up to 92. Short corrections, and they immediately get bought up because they're steadily being bought up because there's a huge demand for coins, keeping the price stable. So he says, as I was saying a moment ago, at the psychological level, once Bitcoin hits 100K, a significant increase in sales volume is expected. As I was saying, once we break through $100,000, we can see that huge spike I was talking about earlier, where we go towards 150. It could even surpass that. We could be hitting a $300,000. Because remember, in yesterday's video, I also mentioned that Michael Saylor met with Jeff Bezos, the founder and creator of Amazon, to explain to him how to buy Bitcoin. And we know that Jeff Bezos he liquidated in the millions dollars worth of his Amazon shares to invest in Bitcoin. So we have we're starting to see it's like chess. We're starting to see big movements by the queen. And so keep your eyes peeled because it hasn't happened yet, but we're starting to observe big pieces moving. And then here we have this by Patrick Bet-David. He is the Yankees minority owner and author of Your Next 5 Moves, and also the host of VPBD podcast, Value Entertainment. He says, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy just made their biggest purchase of Bitcoin. This was yesterday. They acquired 51,780,000 Bitcoin for $4.6 billion. So it's so funny how he says Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy when they're both, MicroStrategy is not Michael Saylor, but it's his company. The same person through two different vehicles bought this much Bitcoin. Michael will be live on his podcast today at 2 p.m. So I have not had a chance to go watch his podcast, but I will. I was actually watching Michael Saylor today in Cantor. I'd encourage you to go check it out because he speaks so clearly. He doesn't speak in a complicated way, but he explains the value of Bitcoin. It's super powerful. And then here we have Joe Rogan, what I'm about to share with you now. Okay. And then think about like who watches Joe Rogan and who's watching this right now and what might happen when they watch this.
Imagine if Bitcoin becomes the only money worth anything. And then everybody's like, well, I don't have any of it. But your money's not worth shit. You got to get new money. You got to get money in Bitcoin.
That's what's going to happen.
And then there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin, right? Like the Bitcoin number is finite. Right. So like maybe there's no Bitcoin for you.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
You just predicted the future, Joe.
Did you catch that? Like, not only is it awesome that Joe Rogan is sharing this, but think about, as I said, who's going to be watching this and what do you think they're going to do? And then remember I told you Coinbase in past videos is one of the top most downloaded apps right now in the financial sector of the App Store. And then Robinhood, the app we know is pretty huge and it's been listing. It's just a matter of time before everyone watching channels like Joe Rogan. That said, shifting gears a little bit, and another reason for you to know that the markets are about to pump, it's in the air, okay, it's in the air, is because Donald Trump nominates pro-Bitcoin Lutnick for Commerce Secretary. Metaplanet, so with this news, Metaplanet shares jump 15% after the latest Bitcoin acquisition and more. So guys, it's happening. It's unbelievable. President Trump is not even actively our president yet. He's preparing to take office officially on January 20th. But just with this news, that's the way the market moves, right? Like, and not just that, but once someone who's pro-Bitcoin, like Lutnick is, can you imagine what the next 4 years of the American market is going to look like and what the global market is going to look like, because the rest of the world follows in the US's footsteps. The US in many ways sets the thermometer. And some more exciting news from like a federal level. We have the Bitcoin Reserve Bill by Senator Cynthia Lummis. We know she's been pro-Bitcoin and has been fighting for us long before even Donald Trump got nominated to be president. So massive kudos to her. Her bill, right, which she put forth, is the 4th most viewed bill in the entire country. And you can pump it. You can help go submit your vote by clicking on this link. I will link it below. This is by Dennis Porter. But if I zoom in on the chart, you can see how the only 3 bills that come above it are like Social Security Fairness Act, which is wonderful, right? Because this is for like the older people in our country that need it, paid their taxes for years, they deserve it. So this is great. And then the Stop Terror Financing Tax Penalties on American Hostages Act, and then Social Security Fairness Act. So after these top 3, the Bitcoin Act is next. So it just tells you that it's on like American people's mind, which is another sign that retail is coming. The rest of America in the world is joining us very, very soon. And when that happens, they bring their money with them. And when that happens, all charts fly. And with that, we're going to segue, guys, into the alpha that I wanted to share with you today regarding Memecoins on Solana, because we know that that is one of the fastest ways to make money in crypto, especially during this phase of the bull run. This is a reminder of why it matters so much to know who you're following in the crypto space, because 60% of all Memecoin traders money trading Memecoins. 4.7% made no money. 11.2% made more than $100, but only 3%, okay, almost no one, made more than $1,000, and only 0.5%, so like less than almost, made more than $10,000 on Memecoins. So it's a total art. It's not for everyone. And a lot of almost everyone who invests in meme coins are going to lose money. That's why I say again and again in every single one of my videos, do not invest in meme coins where you are not willing to lose and not cry over. Do not use your money that you're going to use for groceries or gas or any basic essentials. Okay, you only spend what you can afford to lose. It's like gambling. It's like the lottery. But there is an art to it. And one of the first steps to investing in meme coins is knowing who you're following once again. So please like and subscribe if you haven't, because I will always explain to you why I'm sharing what I am, and everything that I bring to you has already checked all the required boxes. Okay, so everything that I just explained is on this chart. If you can see my screen, and as you can see, only a little minor sliver of people made over 10,000, and just like such a small little piece of the pie made over $1,000. It's risky, guys. It's very, very risky. So that said, we're gonna shift gears and now start to zoom in on the exciting part of this channel, which is risky, but it's exciting. And I'm gonna explain why. So if you're looking at my screen now, this is by Jay Pegler, Twitter account, and he screenshots a tweet by COBIE. Now, many of you may not know who COBIE is, but COBIE is a really well-known personality in the crypto space. He's also a co-host of a podcast, and this is what he says, all right? So this is like a way of pre-teasing and moving markets, right? Remember, I said it matters who you follow. Well, I'm sharing with you right now someone who moves the market in many ways. And this is COBIE, and he says, this is what he says: 70% cats, 20% other animals, 10% CIA coins, which is like half sarcastic and funny, right? Which, like AI, right? I don't know. So that sets the tone for what I'm about to tell you. So the total cat market cap is just 7% that of the total dog meme market cap. This is by Rookie XBT. The total combined market cap of all Solana memes is just $23 billion, which is about a third of Doge's market cap. The total market cap of all meme coins account for 4% of the total crypto market cap. And PopCat looks like this. So I'll zoom in for you. And basically the takeaway here is A, PopCat is flying, right? And if PopCat is doing so well, considering that right now dogs are leading the way, dog memes are leading the way, right? Can you imagine how much more PopCat has to run? That said, if we zoom in, or if you go look at their chart on this next screen, let me zoom out all the way for you. It's a very, very, very volatile for this. And I met the founder. I loved her so much, Corinne, super nerd. I think she's actually from she's a scientist. She's originally a scientist, and she found her way. I don't know her whole story. I'm supposed to connect with her soon and hear her whole story, but very humble, chill, down to earth, cool human. And anyway, so this is no hate. I'm obviously here to tell you PopCat has some big news rolling out here soon, but and it's projected to do very, very well. Okay, it's like leading the way right now in the cats memes, but it is a very choppy market. Look at this, up, down, up, down, up, very, very volatile, which is a reminder once again, this is why you don't invest more than you can lose. But we do have poly markets, right? That right now has PopCat leading the way on who's going to be listed next on Coinbase. And we know, based on, 2 days ago, we know, and I encourage you to go watch that video, there's a tendency and a trend that shows every time a meme coin gets listed on Coinbase or Binance, it tends to go to Valhalla. It tends to pump all the way to the moon. And we know that Polymarket tends to be right. It predicted Trump would win, and he did. Okay, there's so many other cases as well. But right now, PopCat is leading the way on people believing and betting on PopCat to be listed on Coinbase, which will take it to the moon. And then just for a minute, take a look at the other runners up. We have Peanut, Goat, Mudang, Nero, Fwog, all of which are memes I've already been telling you for days and days and days and multiple shows are the top blue chip memes. And if you're going to invest and buy in anything, you look at these guys, okay? And to confirm our suspicion, here we have Coinbase tweeting about Miggles. I brought you Miggles in yesterday's show, so go watch that show. But this is a reason for us to believe Miggles is up very, very soon, or have their eye out for it anyway. So very exciting. So I bring you Pupcat, Miggles, and once again, regarding cats, we have cat in a dog's world known as Mew, and they're on Solana. So if you go to CoinGecko, you scroll down and you click on this guy right here. So that's Mew. Then we also have cat. So maybe you're already into cat, maybe you're not, maybe this is new, but it's called Simon's Cat. And I won't read this whole tweet for you. It is very interesting. It's by UniPix. You can go find this tweet on Twitter and go read more about it. But it's all the reasons as to why it's very likely going to do well. And this UniPix account on Twitter tends to be right. They're kind of like in the know-how all the time of what's going to do well. So go take a look at it if you're interested. Okay, so it's like Pupcat, number 1, Miggles, it's Mew. Now I'm bringing you cat. And then here we have this tweet by Simon's Cat Token that kind of says it all, right? He like hashtags the ticker of cat. And Mew, he says cat and Mew season is here to take over on Solana. It can't get better than this, guys. So you have to stay plugged in, go follow them on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, please make one because that's where everything happens in crypto. You go follow me right here, Crypto by Jess, and you go on Twitter and you go follow everyone I'm following. That's what you do. That's how you stay plugged in, and that's how you can make sure that your home feed on Twitter is all like very good news, right? You don't want to just follow anybody because then your crypto Twitter feed is going to just look like hodgepodge. How do you say it? Hodgepodge. And just as a confirmation, here you can see these are all the top cat themed coins by market cap on CoinGecko. And as I was saying, it's Popcat, Cats in a Dog's World, Mug, Coin, Simon's Cat, Michi, and soon I believe we may see Nyan because that's a different topic, but Nyan is like one of the top cat memes ever. So that's us. So wrapping it up, as you can see here, this is Popcat on Solana, cat well on Dex Screener. So that said, I hope you gained value. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you were able to follow my points, and I hope you see it's cat season on Solana especially. And yeah, I hope you go do your own research because as much as I do research for you, it's very important for you to also be plugged in and take responsibility for your investments. That way you feel very proud of yourself at the end of the day when you make a lot of money. So that said, I will leave you guys here and I will catch you in my next video. Ciao.